Today, our retro review is on the deadly years. We'll talk about that just after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and the deadly years, at first blush, kind of put me off to how much they aged people that were supposed to be in their 60s. Being in my 60s myself, I find that this, at least in this era, perhaps not so much in the 60s, people in my age group don't look that old. During the 60s, I guess, old people looked kind of like how the makeup people did our characters. And the idea of your mind deteriorating and things like that was more pronounced than it is these days with better medical care. And by the time of the next generation, they decided that medical care had reached the point to where people could be very much older than they are. In Picard, Picard was near 90 and still, while showing some aspects of age, certainly was not of any level of incompetence, which they have as kind of the central point of this episode, where whether the captain is in any kind of shape to be able to continue to run the ship. But we won't let that bother us. We also won't let it bother us that just last time I talked to you, I had some great criticism over the bottle show of Deep Space Nine, where it was a virus that was spread through replicators, and I indicated that there really wasn't much of a plot there. I will say that this is different, however, in that there was a couple of plot things going. One is that they were in an area where there was Romulans. The ship was on kind of an alert status all through the episode, and the real single point that they pull out here is that whether a person who is somewhat mentally incapacitated, is he still a better starship commander than someone who's never commanded a starship? And we're almost seeing that, although the captain redeems himself in the end by being back to normal after they have found the radiation cure. But it has something to say about the problem that Star Trek has always had about superior officers. Anytime there's been a Commodore or an Admiral depicted in every Star Trek series, with the exception of the Discovery and to a certain extent Picard, all of the Admirals and Commodores are either compromised, deranged, or stupid. And in this case, Stalker fits kind of the last. He's a completely inexperienced commander. He is what Kirk described as a paper pusher, and he takes over command of a starship, brings them into the Romulan neutral zone, and then doesn't know what to do about it, and doesn't realize that they don't take prisoner. This is a point where they, by the way, in Star Trek II, where Kirk said the Klingons don't take prisoners. It's not true. The Klingons have always taken prisoners. The Romulans didn't. What happened was that there was a script change where originally the Kobayashi Maru was supposed to go into the Romulan neutral zone. For some reason, they didn't want to spend the money to build a Romulan ship, and they had the Klingon ship left over in stock footage from Star Trek the Motion Picture. So they just changed that in the script, but did not change the fact that the Klingons didn't have a neutral zone, that they do take prisoners, and many other things. It caused some continuity problems nobody really said much about, because otherwise the movie was so good. Nevertheless, we go back to this, and the Romulans don't take prisoners, and Stalker is stuck wondering what to do until the revived Kirk comes in, brings back up the Corbomite device, which was first used in the first season, and is using that ruse this time against the Romulans, in which it's effective. And it says something in the story. First of all, the captain's desire to stay in command, and the reason that everybody trusts him is that he is a superior commander. He comes up with ideas nobody else would. Even Spock, who resisted the idea of taking over the ship upon Captain Kirk being classed as incompetent, claimed that he wasn't competent either. And in fact, where McCoy said in the hearing, even under this situation, he's a better man than all of you. And he was right in that point. Found that McCoy became a whole lot more Southern as he got older. We found that they already explained that some people were absorbing the radiation at different rates, and so a younger yeoman dies before Kirk even gets very old. Kirk appears to be in his 60s. Scotty looks like that he's near 100. They had some interesting makeup work to do then, but I think it had more to do with how people aged in the 60s rather than how people age now, certainly, or what they could be predicted to age like by the 23rd century. And in fact, McCoy, used in the first episode of The Next Generation, didn't look quite as old there in his low 100s as he did in this show. But once again, that's a decision made by makeup artists and things such as that. It's an interesting show to show just how they did that, what they thought of old people at the time. And as a 66-year-old, I don't appreciate it a bit. I believe that I have my complete mental faculties, and I don't remember what I was about to say. So I'd like to know what you think about this. Why don't you go to the comments below and let me know what you think, and subscribe while you're there, and we'll keep retro reviews coming from the original series, from Deep Space Nine, and of course new episodes as they occur from Strange New Worlds. So with all of that, respect your elders and don't go far.